Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I have a couple of updates surrounding my Dragon's Gate series, and I just wanted to explain what's going on. So I'll just cut to the chase and say that I think that it's time to revamp the entire series. And this is a project that I've been working on since November of 2019, so this isn't really a decision that I've taken lightly. And there's a lot of reasons for this, most of which I'll go over in a live mode here in just a moment, but I've talked to a lot of people. Some have said, oh yeah, that's not the greatest idea, why would you do that? But others have said, oh yeah, for sure, that's an awesome idea, go ahead. And I understand this may or may not be a popular thing for me to do, but in the interest of providing a product that in the long run I can be the most proud of and provide the most amount of entertainment value to my audience, I think that starting fresh is a difficult but necessary decision. Over the last year, my skills within the game have gotten immensely better, and I've learned a lot of things to do or things to avoid for performance reasons, like not putting 6,000 procedural objects and thousands of trees all in the same place. But really, the performance isn't the biggest deal, the map itself is the biggest deal. It was really hastily planned, and it doesn't fit my needs for this project. Beyond that, there are a few things, especially in regards to the road system, that I feel is pretty sloppy that I would like to fix as well. But at this point, it is too late to do that without deleting large portions of what has already been built. But let's hop in game, and I'll just go ahead and show you some of what I'm talking about. Alright guys, here we are in game, and I'm just going to zoom out. We're over here next to the border crossing. And I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that I've been up to, stuff that I like and stuff that I dislike, and the reasons that I'm going to be trying to move on. The very next episode, episode 9, I was trying to shoehorn in this thing right here. It was, if you've ever seen the city of Guangdong, there's this oval-shaped area, and across the river there's the Canton Tower. It's really cool, and I was trying to just shoehorn in something from that, and actually it probably would have looked pretty cool, but I just couldn't get it to look right. But I guess before everything else, I'll go over the things that I liked. Pretty much everything that I've built I like. This little area right here, this was episode 3, this little central area with the government building. Whoa. Okay, camera's doing some weird stuff. It has stood the test of time, and I mean, I'm really sad that nobody's seen that episode, because this is one of the better builds. Actually, this entire thing, I really like all my builds, but this has really stood the test of time, and it still looks nice to this day. There's some tree issues with having a little bit too many trees, but I'm actually fine with that. The performance isn't the reason that I'm moving on, even though the performance is obviously terrible. I mean, I get it, that's fine. What else I like is, my favorite build is this entire Expo Center Transport Hub Mall deal. This is awesome. And it's used by so much. I mean, it's the central hub of the city. Everything goes through here. And it just works. I mean, everybody comes through this train station. It just works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And these city blocks on the side that I made, they're great. They fit exactly what they needed to do. They are detailed just enough to where it looks good from a distance, but it's not as much of a performance hit. The performance hits are really from all the different procedural objects I have. It was kind of a mistake to put the procedural objects mall and the giant transport hub directly right next to each other. That was a pretty big mistake, but I can live with that. I still think this just is absolutely awesome on the inside. Ignore the giant water pump, because when I reset the sea level, it gets water in here, and I just want to pump it out real quick. But this looks really nice still. I really like it. There's this little weird thing going on with the terrain down there. I don't know what that is, but yeah, this still looks really good. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to port this in because it's just way too complicated. But I mean, this and the transport hub are my two favorite builds of this city. So everything that I've built up, I really like it. I don't have any problems with it. The issues lie in the map and the road layout. Those are really the two things. And I'll go over the road layout really quickly. It's not horrible, but you see you have this hourglass shape, and the episode 3 I was talking about, I imported this in from another map, remember? And when this city was going to be a whole lot smaller. It was going to be more of a it was going to be a smaller town, and so it didn't need to have this giant area that was going to be sprawling. And it was just going to be this, and then maybe just slightly half of the next little block above it, like right here. That's what it was going to be originally. And I based it off of Wenzhou in here. I'll go to Google Maps real quick. Let me change that over. Google Earth. There we go. See, this is what it was based off of in Wenzhou. And it looks cool. It works for their city, but it's a totally different. This is a medium-sized city, and it's also built on a giant swamp, which is really cool, by the way. But it's a medium-sized city in Chinese terms, and it's just not what I was. It's too small of a scale for what I ended up going for with this city, which is now based on Shenzhen. But we'll go back to Cities Skylines. Back to Cities Skylines. Sorry, I had to change windows there. Yeah, that's pretty much that. And then a lot of the CSUR stuff, it's kind of done sloppily. Like this interchange right here it's okay. It's not great. Could be done better. Which, I mean, I could go back and I could redo this interchange. That's not a big deal. Again, this is built stuff. Stuff that I built, a lot of it can be changed. Except for the hourglass thing. There's way too much done with that by now. But there's a lot of the expressway stuff I could fix. That's not a big deal. But like I said, the issues are mainly with the map. So we'll go up here. So check it out. Everything up here is pretty much useless for what I want to do with this city. I was originally going to put like a village rice fields deal up here, which that would be cool still, but I want to do other things. And then this river is a huge pain. It's unrealistic, and it has issues where it either overflows or there's not enough water in it at some points, and it splits off, and it's crazy, and it's just very poorly done on my part as far as building the map. And then this part up here, I was thinking about doing some sort of dam or something, which that would have been dope. But I mean, what these mountains do, or what this part of the map does, it blocks off a huge part of the map, so it limits my space to build. That's a huge deal. But what I would rather have is I would rather move these mountains all the way up to the border of the map. Move the mountains up to the border of the map and move everything else up. So there's this bay area, and we can actually see there's supposed to be another country, the other city-state to the south. You know how there was the Civil War and all this stuff, and this city, Xiangnan, it ended up becoming a part of China, while the southern city, it stayed independent. Long story short. And so I still want to get a piece of of the other country on the other side down here. That would be awesome. But I can't really do that now. And I was originally going to put a little sliver of it right here, but it's not worth it. And let's see, what else? These mountains, they're way too tall. I was looking at, they're way too tall. I was looking at other creators' maps that they've made, and they're all the mountains are, 300-400 units high, or meters, or whatever. No, not meters. No way they're meters. But they're 300 or 400 units high. And these are, 5 or 6 or even 700 units high. They're way too tall for the scale that I'm trying to go for. The scale I'm trying to go for is something more like this mountain right here. This mountain's fine. It could be shaped a little better, but it's fine. But this one, it's way too tall, and it's just not really, it's not great. And the final issue, I believe, is we'll go in here. We'll look at this. Go to the flatten tool. the bottom of sea level is 0. And then the main level of the city is at 71. There's not a whole lot of room to go down. There's plenty of room to go up, but I don't need that much room to go up. I actually don't need that much room to go down either, but it's still a pain dealing with tunnels and stuff sometimes. Again, that's kind of a minor thing, but it was something I definitely tried to fix in the new map. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to mention here? I think that pretty much hit all of it on the head. Like I said, all of the stuff that I've built, is really good. I'm still really proud of what I've done, and those videos are going to stay up. But in the new Dragon's Gate 2.0 or revamped or whatever I'm going to call it, I'm not going to import any of this. I'm going to completely start anew. And it's on one hand it's sad, but on the other hand, like, it makes sense because I mean the performance is so bad here, so bad. And I can do better with it. And kind of the last thing is this bridge. It did not end up becoming as iconic as I thought it would be, just because it's in the wrong place. So whatever. What else? I think that's all. So I will see you in the new map. Alright, y'all. Welcome to the new map. This is Xiangnan 2.0, and as you can see, I implemented pretty much all of the fixes that I was going to put in. The mountains up here, they're scaled down, and they're properly moved to the right areas, and I even added some of these little hills here and there that, I mean, they just look really cool. And like I said, they're scaled down a lot better. Looks a lot more realistic, and it's a lot prettier, I guess you could say. And now we have the little strip of the other country. And I didn't know if I wanted to make this connecting or not as far as the land. And I decided to have this little bay come through, and there's going to be some cool stuff going on over here and over here, and we'll get to all that. It'll be some pretty cool stuff. Right now I have the vanilla highways in because I'm actually going to upload this to the Steam Workshop at some point, and I just wanted to be able to be used without too much headache. I want to replace all this with CSUR in my series, and we'll be good to go. And the rivers, they're completely functional. I have 2 rivers instead of 1 this time, but they just work. They don't have the issues like the other one does, and I've been playing on this map for a while. What else? For the revamped series, we're going to be starting on this peninsula in Shenzhen. This area is called Nanshan or Shekuo, down in the, I don't know how to say that, down in the south part right here, but the whole area is basically just called Nanshan, and we'll be able to get into city a whole lot more quickly than we did with the original series, with the original Dragon's Gate. But we're going to have to make another border checkpoint again, because check it out. Well, actually I have to make 2. We'll have to make one on this side, then we'll have to make one on this side. But I'm just going to do the one on the Chinese side for now, on the Xiangnan side, because it's actually a whole lot more important, because it's going to feed into how the expressway system feeds to the rest of the city. Because this is going to be the only way to get from this side of the map to this side of the map. There's not going to be any... I don't know, I might add a ferry. I don't think so, though. I might. I don't know. And then this side, I might add another one at some point, but this will probably be a train one, if anything. So this will be the main area to get into the city from this side of the map. Or get out of the city if you're trying to go down here to do whatever. But yeah, we'll get the border checkpoint done, and then we'll move on to an actual urban area, instead of just wasting however many episodes on a central park. Which I still want to do. I'll do that, thinking about over here somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. I was originally going to do it right here, but I think this might be too far to the edge of the map. But we'll see. But I have a lot of ideas here, and a lot of the ideas from the original series will still stand. Actually, pretty much all the ideas. I'm trying not to add too much crazy procedural objects malls in here, except for maybe in a couple of places. But aside from that, I mean, I really like the look of this map. It's a whole lot more realistic. It's scaled a whole lot better. And I believe that's all I had to say. So let me know down in the comments whether you think this is a good or a bad idea. Like I said, this is something that I've been thinking about for a couple of months, and I think this is the best direction that I could be going. And I know that some people will be disagreeing with that, and that's fine. But I thank you for the support so far on my channel, and I hope you continue to support me. And if you're new to the channel through this video somehow, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all of that sort of stuff. And episode number 1 of Dragon's Gate 2.0 or Dragon's Gate Revamped is just around the corner.